Hey everybody, Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Thanks so much for stopping by for today's Live at Lunch. Today I'm going to be working on what is being called the sliding lock card. It's a gatefold, and instead of securing it with a belly band, we're going to secure it with this little locking mechanism. So it just is going to slide right between the two halves of the card. Of course, now I can't do it. I practiced earlier. There we go. And it just slides down and it creates that little locking mechanism to hold the two halves in place. So today we're going to be working on with the prized peony stamp set, and this is the retiring Rococo Rose, which is unfortunately sold out, and some basic gray, but we still have that gorgeous prized peony designer series paper. So let's go ahead and get started. We have our cardstock 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8. And then we're just going to burnish it with our bone folder. Okay, and in order to get our locking mechanism to I'm going to work on that first because I'm going to use the liquid glue and I want it to have a chance to set. So you have here 3 circles, and I did them in the color to match the cardstock. So you need 3. 2 we're going to fold in half, and this is going to create that locking mechanism. Okay, and we're just going to glue these down to that other circle. So we have 3 circles. These are 2-inch circles. I just punched them out with my 2-inch circle punch, and we're just going to put these there, just like that. Now, over the top of this, I'm going to put this basic gray that I cut with our scalloped circles. I'm going to turn this over so I can sort of see where I'm placing it and just eyeball it to make sure it's even. Okay. So we're going to let that just sit aside for a little bit and dry, and then we're going to work on the rest of our card. Now for the inside, I'm going to be using our basic gray, and I'm going to stamp my thoughts, so sorry for your loss. If I can find it, and I think I left it out. There it is, it's already on a block. So now my label's a little bit cattywampus. I'm going to try to stamp it so the stamp is straight. So it might look like the label is, that is really crooked. So let's flip it over. And try that. Well, it's still a little cattywampus, but it will have to do for today. That's what happens if you don't put those labels on really straight. They just come out and they are gonna have your stamp be off. So just be careful when you're putting the labels on, because once they're on, they're not coming off. So there we have that. Now for the outside, I have basic gray. These are 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, and then I have my designer series paper that are 5 by 1 5/8, and we're just going to layer those up. You could use either side you like. I just kind of like the floral side today. I need sympathy cards for a friend who lost her mother and a friend who lost his sister. So it's always, I don't really keep these in stock, but when I need them, I know I can make them. So I thought these might be appropriate. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put these onto our panels. Okay. Okay, just eyeball it to make sure they're kind of even top to bottom. Now, I'm going to bring back in my locking mechanism, and I'm going to adhere a 2 1/4 inch circle of Rococo Rose. Okay. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm going to stamp on this one, but I want to make sure that I put it on there straight. So I'm going to put my locking mechanism in first. Okay, and that circle is a little bit off, and that is kind of going to bother me. So let me see if I could fix this just a teeny tiny bit. Okay, let's see, hopefully that will be, yeah, that looks a little bit better. It was just enough off that it was distracting to the eye. So I'm going to stamp on this. You are always in my thoughts, or my thoughts are with you. And I'm going to also stamp that in our basic gray. And I'm not using my Stampin' Pierce mat because these are our cling stamps. So I don't need to use those. And then I'm going to come in, we have this little accent stamp, and I'm just going to stamp that once in the Rococo Rose, and that's just going to add just the teeniest bit of like interest or texture to this stamp. And it doesn't really matter where you stamp it. I'm just going to kind of stamp it down there. And it's very subtle. It's not a lot, but I think it adds just a little tiny bit. So now we're ready to go ahead and put this on. And you'll see why I wanted to get my whole locking mechanism done first before I put this on, because now I can make sure that it's straight. Okay, and that's it for this edition of Live at Lunch, but a very simple little gatefold card. I will, with a locking mechanism, I will go ahead and I will put down the measurements in the comments section later on, like probably tonight. I have some other stuff I have to do for the rest of the day before I can get back and edit this. But anyway, that's it for this edition of Live at Lunch. Thanks so much for watching and tuning in. Be sure to join my Crafty Stampers VIP group for more videos and fun giveaways. I'll see you all next week here at Live at Lunch. Bye.